The gates open to Cedar Point Saturday morning. The park is one of the most popular in the nation and a regional treasure. For many, Saturday's opening marks the unofficial arrival of summer.
But over the past several months, our 11 Investigates team has looked into a disturbing side of this amusement park: sexual violence against employees by other employees. We believe it is such an important story that we will reveal it throughout this entire week. And we do want to warn you, this story does contain graphic accounts of sexual abuse.
Cedar Point, America's roller coaster. Rides, good times, sunshine. But there's a darker side and a lot of secrets. 11 Investigates has learned that over the past 5 years, the Sandusky Police Department has investigated 27 sexual assault allegations here at the Cedar Point Employee Housing Unit, 10 in the last year alone.
And in talking to some of the women, their stories have disturbing similarities.
I woke up to him inside of me, and I pushed him away, and I just got up and I just left. And then I told my mom, I called my mom, and I was like, this is like Mother's Day. Like, she shouldn't be able to get this call on Mother's Day. Like, her only daughter.
My sweater shawl thing was on the floor with my shirt, and I didn't know where my pants were. And I woke up and there was a condom stuck to my leg.
I had my door unlocked to go back and forth in the bathroom getting ready for bed, and I was taking out my contacts, and he just walked in, like, unannounced, and like, he grabbed me and pushed me up against the bed.
32 men are listed as suspects by Sandusky police in the 27 sexual assault reports. We don't know what many of the suspects look like. That's because they've never been arrested or charged with a crime. Of the 3 men charged with a crime, one name stands out: Donnell Folks. He's in prison for sexual battery. Alexander Makeupson is charged with sexual imposition and still awaiting trial for an incident that took place in 2018. The alleged assaults have taken place in a series of employee dorms and apartments near downtown Sandusky. Those units did not receive positive reviews from most people we interviewed.
We went back to the dorm and realized that, like, we can't, like, unpack anything because the place was just dirty. They had, like, spiders everywhere in the corners. They had, like, cobwebs all over.
There's a lot of drugs. There's a lot of alcohol.
And multiple people told us that there's little security. Now, we wanted to talk to Cedar Point officials and the Cedar Point police chief, but our request for an interview was declined. We told a spokesman that we wanted to talk about numerous sexual assault reports, but we're told that there's no interview availability. The fact is, we simply don't know the true number of sexual assaults inside the Cedar Point employee housing units.
Cedar Point police have not turned over any of its incident reports, arguing it's a private force and not subject to records law.
But 11 Investigates is fighting for those records, believing that there may be more than those 27 assault allegations. Again, all that we know about are the incidents in which a victim went to Sandusky police or when Cedar Point called for assistance.
Do you have any females on?
For Perkins, why?
We got a sexual harassment complaint. Need a female. If not, we definitely need an officer.
Get your body cam.
Sandusky Police Chief Jared Oliver said his officers investigate every single complaint they receive, but he admitted that he has no way of knowing if Cedar Point police are reporting every incident.
If we are called, I say if, we may or may not be called. But if we are called and we go to the scene, then we take over the scene. If there's an arrest that needs to be made, our officers make that arrest. If there's a report that needs to be handled, all officers take care of that report. I can't speak if we're called to every call.
Now, tomorrow night, we're going to tell you more about the alleged victims and tell you about one former Cedar Point employee who was accused of assaulting coworkers during 2 different seasons.
I was too scared to even, like, leave my apartment to, like, tell anybody, so I just stayed in my apartment and just called 911.
And there is much more to this story that will be revealed this week. To this point, neither the Cedar Point police or park officials have agreed to sit down with us.
Now, Cedar Point did give us a statement saying in part the safety of our guests and associates is always our top priority, though a variety of methods, our on-site housing is monitored 24/7. The spokesperson added that there are resources like on-site security, an emergency texting program, a dedicated and confidential associate Speak Up hotline, and access to mental health programs. Associates are made aware of these resources during their onboarding process, end quote. And Cedar Point takes these matters seriously and reports employee misconduct to local law enforcement when appropriate. Now, you can text the word HELP right now to 419-248-1100. We will send you resources if you or somebody you know is a victim of sexual assault, and information on how to get in touch with 11 Investigates if you have a story to share. You will also get a link to our full investigation sent right to your phone.